This is Gary Kavanagh, and you're watching Gript's weekly review of our top stories. You may have noticed that there was no weekly review last week as I was ill. I had assumed that meant there would be no major news items this week, but sadly not everyone seems to have gotten that memo. John McGurk wrote in the declaration by Tánaiste Leo Varadkar that Ireland is not neutral at all. Our support for Ukraine is unwavering and unconditional. John makes the point that even if we agree that supporting Ukraine is the moral choice, as John himself does, Ireland's commitment to neutrality has long been more about giving Irish politicians a sense of moral superiority than any actual commitment to neutrality as a principle. This week, the moral high ground was to be found backing Ukraine, so neutrality got swiftly thrown under a bus. Personally, I'm just thankful that we reformed the Irish military and significantly strengthened our cybersecurity capabilities before engaging in behaviour that might lead certain countries to redesignate Ireland and Irish organisations as legitimate targets. The National Women's Council of Ireland, the NWCI, has had over 160 meetings with ministers and officials from government departments over the past 2 years. Independent TD Carol Nolan said that the figures showed that the organisation had what she described as seemingly unparalleled access to senior figures. Deputy Nolan said that the figures showed at the NWC are nothing remotely like an NGO. They are at the very heart of the establishment, pushing, shaking, moulding agendas without being in any way genuinely representative of Irish women. It's worth noting that the NWCI received close to €1 million in taxpayer money last year and receives very little in the way of personal donations from members of the public. It is sad to see such shocking levels of welfare dependence amongst some of Ireland's once most respectable women. We can only hope they'll be able to get back on their feet again shortly. The BBC has warned internet users to watch out for old or doctored images and videos being shared on social media as being from the current Ukrainian conflict. The BBC themselves recently shared a video which they said showed Russian fighter jets flying into Ukraine, but was actually footage from a Russian military parade in 2020. People have apparently been fooled by fake videos, stories about soldiers dying or not dying, and even snapshots taken from video games. In the last instance, footage from a game called Digital Combat Simulator World was shared by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense. They said it showed the shooting down of a Russian aircraft. You wouldn't have thought you would have to tell people to assume anything you see on social media is false until it's been verified, but apparently that was too high a bar. A group of scientists have written to the Lancet Medical Journal to question claims that the consumption of red meat has led to a major rise in death and diseases worldwide. Their questions related to a 2019 study, the Global Burden of Disease Report, which said that a diet high in red meat was responsible for nearly 900,000 deaths globally. The writers point out that the report changed their methodology from a previous report in 2017, which linked red meat consumption to 25,000 deaths, but they said the full data underpinning this 36-fold increase in deaths has never been made available to scientists. War, red meat, and the NWCI. It all fits together nicely.